the top table and start talking about the main event of the evening. As I've announced today, this will be for the Commonwealth Super Welterweight title, and we'll start by talking to the trainer and manager of Stevie Spark. Brendan Smith joins us from Toowoomba, a man who has been there and done that in international boxing, and we thank him so much for coming here to Newcastle at short notice with his fighter Stevie Spark. Brendan, why were you so confident in taking this fight at short notice?
Thanks, Ben. Well, look, from a trainer's point of view and my experiences, the greatest thing you can see is when you discuss a fight with your fighter, the first response is the response that you're going to get and the performance you're going to get. And when I called Stevie on the fight, the response I got from Stevie straight away and his confidence in the fight was good enough for me. One thing we've always worked on is dealing with adversity and being ready at all times. So within an hour, we'd made our decision. Actually, within the first 5 minutes, we'd made our decision. This is a great opportunity for Stevie. We're not supposed to win this fight, but there's two men in this building that believe different, and that's myself and Stevie. So within 24 hours, we're down here, and we've come to win the fight.
I guess there's not a great deal you can do physically to prepare him at this point, but what do you do mentally to make sure that Stevie's ready for this massive occasion on Wednesday night?
We a lot physically and mentally, and the best thing that happened was we were straight down, straight out on the plane and straight to here, and I've been able to watch Stevie grow in every day and every interview and the way he settled in. I feel quite confident.
You mentioned the interviews. He's won Australia over. Did you know that would be the case? I guess you saw a bit of it the last time we saw him on main event when he had that fight against Jack Brubaker and the outstanding post-fight interview on the Gallen v Brown card. But did you expect people would be so excited about seeing Stevie after they met him this week?
Yes, I do, but I've been fortunate enough. Stevie's been with us since he's 14-year-old, and I've watched him grow right through, and he carries himself very good, and what he says he means, and he's a very confident young man, and he puts the work in with it. So look, nothing's been a shock to me on what's been happening down here. It was a matter of time, and he's been coming in. He's coming into his own age and time. So we've seen this development, and it's his time now.
What is it about Stevie's boxing that you think gives him a chance against Tszyu?
Look, well, I won't even go right into that side of it, but what I can say is we haven't come to make up the numbers in this fight. We've come here to really upset the apple cart.
You've been around a long time in global boxing. A victory for Stevie Spark, where would that rank amongst the greatest achievements for you and also the biggest upsets that we've seen in Australia?
To be honest, Ben, I don't even really think about that. It's the job at hand. And, this week's been very important for us on all of it. So I don't even think about that. We're just focused on the job in front, and we can deal with the rest of it from there.
Okay, thank you very much to Brendan Smith, the trainer and manager of Stevie Spark. We'll head to the other end of the table. And Glenn Jennings is the manager of Tszyu, a Novocastrian as well. Good to be back in your part of town, Glenn.
God's country, Benny. We can't beat this. Great to be back.
How are Newcastle feeling about having Tszyu in town again?
Oh, look, I think like the rest of the country, it's been one of those weeks where it's had everything. And so here we are again, resetting under a COVID plan to take on Steve Spark. So I'd just like to say to the No Limits crew that the amount of work that's gone into this to pull this off is an amazing achievement on its own, considering where we've been this week. And for those that have never been to a No Limits fight night, forget State of Origin coming to Newcastle. This is going to be the big event. You don't want to miss this one. This is going to be a cracker of a night. And last time we were here, we took the roof off. And regardless of how many seats they can sell under COVID, we plan to do the same again on Wednesday. So safest place in Australia right now, Benny, here in Newcastle.
Yeah, it's good to be here, that is for sure, Glenn. How's Tim coped with the last week, do you feel?
Oh, look, as a team, we like everyone, were bitterly disappointed. We very quickly moved on and refocused our attention onto Steve Spark. Very dangerous young man. Great KO record, highly respected by us. No stone unturned. Timmy straight into the focus on Steve Spark, and Coach Igor did what he always does, assessed the situation in front, adapted, and we've moved on, and the training camp's been brilliant. This is the fourth week we've been away. We made sure we got out of Sydney and into Newcastle well in advance to make sure this event went on. And from a planning and Timmy's point of view, we're very, very happy with where we're at.
For those who weren't at the venue last time around and might be considering heading here on Wednesday night or watching on Main Event, what was the atmosphere like from where you were, having a look at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre as it's come to be known, with that full crowd and them all chanting Newcastle?
Oh, look, for me personally, it's just an amazing experience and a memory I'll never forget. Having done 7 fights here with Kostya, it was, for me, even better than those, and that's hard to pip, but that atmosphere for that last fight, and I'm sure Wade's team and everyone that was involved will agree, it was something very special. And for sporting fans alone, this event on Wednesday night, if you can come to this event just for the sporting event, you should, because this will most likely be the last time you'll see Tszyu in Newcastle. So that opportunity shouldn't be wasted, and I certainly wouldn't be waiting until Wednesday to get tickets, because you may well miss out, because I think there'll be a rush Wednesday based on everything that's happened, people hanging back with COVID to see if it's going to happen. I'd be getting in today and getting organised, because we expect what seats are available will be gone.
Okay, if that is the case, of course, you can watch it on Main Event. You can order via KO or via Foxtel as well. Now we'll talk to our 2 main event fighters. And firstly, he is the challenger to Tszyu's regional title. He's a man who's already won an Australian title and a youth world title. He's the Cinderella man, the Rocky story of Australian boxing. He's the Viking Stevie Spark. First and foremost, Stevie, thank you for stepping in and saving the day and saving the show. Just take us back to when you received that phone call. I know you've talked about it a lot of times now, but when Brendan rang you up and you were working at the pub, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, as Brendan said, called me while I was at work pouring beers, and we made the decision in 5 minutes. This is an opportunity you can't turn down, and we're not here to make up the numbers, but also I wouldn't be here if I didn't back myself. So I'm here to win this fight, and I'm here to dethrone the face of Australian boxing.
What's the reaction been like? We've seen a lot of it in the mainstream media, but I'm sure you've been inundated with support. What has that been like over the last few days?
Yeah, look, the support's been unreal, and like we said, we come straight down to Newcastle, and man, I've been loving Newcastle. The people here are amazing, and I know this town here, it gets behind Tim a lot, but every second person's been stopping me and wishing me good luck, and from the bottom of the heart, that means everything to me. And if people can get behind me on the night here in Newcastle, that would mean the absolute world to me. I do this for the fans, and that's why I did jump in on such late notice, because the fans needed to see a fight this Wednesday night. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen, and that's referring to myself, to Tim, to No Limit. When you want something bad enough, you'll make it go ahead and you'll make it happen, unlike some other fighters who aren't willing to do that. So, I'm just excited to be part of the biggest event of Australia this year, and like I said, I'm here to give the fans the fight they know they deserve.
What about your boxing leaves you so confident that you can win a fight against Tszyu?
As Brendan said, we've grown and matured over the years, and this didn't happen overnight. It's a lot of years of hard work and sacrifice to get to this point. I've earned this shot, and that's why I believe I got this call. And the performance I put on against Jack and my knockout ratio record, I think that excites Tim. And my style is a style that Tim probably hasn't seen yet, and one he hasn't been in the ring with. I haven't sparred him, so he has only seen me fight twice, and I think that's what excites Tim, and my style is going to pose a couple of threats to him. It's one of those things where you got 2 grown men who can whack very hard, and that's myself and Tim with 10-ounce gloves on in those exchanges. It only takes one shot, and this is a very dangerous fight for myself, yes, and for Tim. In one of the exchanges, a punch only has to half glance past him and cause a cut, and that's a TKO win. So it's very dangerous from both sides, and a win can come from my end just as easy. So don't count me out in this fight. I'm here to do this for every Aussie battler out there.
The great Jeff Fennick has said that you're a tougher task for Tszyu than what Michael Zarafa would have been. He says that you're a very dangerous opponent for Tszyu, and plenty of others have expressed that as well. It must be nice to hear that sort of support coming from within Australian boxing.
Yeah, it definitely is, but we try and block all that stuff out. I don't want to get too caught up in the media and what people are saying and who's saying what, because at the end of the day, none of them are getting there and doing this fight. I'm the one in there who has to go in there and throw the punches and take the punches. So, we block all that out and keep the job on hand and in the mind.
What would it mean to you, to your life and to your career if you could cause this upset, if you could beat Tszyu on Wednesday night?
I've been dreaming about it, so it's everything to me, mate. This is huge. This is all I've ever dreamed about. Like I said, I've honestly had an inkling I'd always fight Tim, and it's just, I don't know, it's maybe fate how it's all fallen into place, but I've always thought this would happen. It would mean the absolute world to me. I've dreamt of this moment, and I'm looking to cause the biggest upset here, and mate, this would set my family up financially. This would set myself up in the boxing world. You know, people go on it. It's not just about the money, but it is as well. It's about the legacy I want to leave on the sport. Like I said, I'm stepping up 2 weight divisions. I'm stepping up class, but I'm doing this for a legacy. I'm doing this for something to leave behind, something the fans can talk about for years after I'm retired, and they can talk about Tszyu and Spark and that he was never shied away from a challenge. I've never shied away from no one, and I want that to be known to everyone. I've never shied away from a fight, and I've always wanted to give the fans the fights.
Nice acknowledgement too from the Commonwealth Boxing Council. Must be exciting for you to be fighting for the Commonwealth Super Welterweight title.
Yeah, definitely. We can't thank the Commonwealth enough for that and sanctioning this fight. I think that just shows the calibre of fighter I am, the calibre of fighter that Tim is as well. It's exciting that me and Tim have the opportunity to keep expanding our boxing rankings and going up in the ranks in a big way after these title belts. Like I said, there's no need for me and Tim to sit up here and bash into each other and disrespect. You know, we're probably the 2 nicest blokes in Australian boxing, as I've said, and but everyone knows that when me and Tim step into the ring, we do mean business, and we go into the hurt of our opponent, and it's all love after. It is a business. It's a serious business. You can get very hurt in this game, and I know that, but there's no need for us to, you know, bash on each other. And I believe that's why I've got such immediate attention I have, is because I'm a breath of fresh air that Australia never know they needed. You know, it's nice to see opponents treat each other with respect and treat the sport with such respect as well.
You said you've dreamt about this fight. You've dreamt about winning it. When you've seen that in your dreams, how does it end? How do you
I haven't lost it. I haven't lost it in my dreams yet, so, you know, but exactly, it's about making those dreams a reality. Dreams are dreams until they're made a reality, so I'm looking to go out there and make that a reality against Tim, and yeah, it's all been a great run in, and I just can't thank everyone enough for the support in this, the media, the fans, the friends, the family, everyone. It's been fantastic, and, you know, I'm so glad that No Limit did ring us, and I'm so glad Michael Zarafa pulled out. As much as everyone's bashing him, I'm glad he did. I'm happy. Thank you, Michael Zarafa. It's been great.
Thank you.
Set me up, mate.
And thank you, Stevie Spark, for stepping in, and well spoken yet again, mate. We now go to the headline act yet again here in Newcastle. He is world ranked at super welterweight on the cusp of a world title shot, but firstly, he's got to get through Stevie Spark and win this Commonwealth title. Well, Michael Zarafa has just been mentioned. Tim Tszyu, do you have any message for Michael Zarafa?
Michael who? I haven't heard of it for a bit now.
What about Stevie Spark? You've been grateful to him for stepping in, but what's going to happen on Wednesday night? I'm sure that it's not going to be all thanks when we get into the ring.
Look, first of all, thank you for him for stepping in on such late notice. But this is business for me. We're not friends yet. I got one thing in my mind, that's to take him out by any means possible.
Any concern about that? The fact that you are grateful he's here, there's been no animosity, and there was so much in the lead up to the fight you were meant to have. Any risk that mentally you're not in it this Wednesday night?
Nah, I've got this fire burning within. I've had a great prep, 10, 12 weeks, flying up to Queensland, sparring some good boys. Look, I'm in it to take this guy out. Whoever they put in front of me, I'm in for one object, and that's to take him out.
You were ringside in Wollongong when Stevie Spark had his breakout party, beating Jack Brubaker. What did you make of his performance then, and what do you think of him as a boxer?
I think he's a good boxer. He's got the skills, but there's levels in boxing, and I'm no Brubaker.
What about Newcastle being back here again? It was such a good home for you last time around, and they've truly embraced you. What's it been like this week?
Yeah, Newcastle's always got great support here. The fans here are great. It's a boxing type hometown here, and the fact that my dad fought so many times here, and the last time that I fought, the crowd was just amazing. Look, I fought in stadiums against Jeff Horn. We fought in Sydney in a stadium, and the crowd in Newcastle was 10 times more electrifying. It felt 20 times bigger, and the fans really get behind it. So look, again, this is why we're back here. And Glenn was saying, you know, this could be my last fight here in Newcastle or even in Australia, but I definitely do want to bring one more here and something special.
A prestigious belt up for grabs in this fight now with the Commonwealth title. That adds a little bit to what's going on Wednesday night.
Look, right now, it doesn't matter what titles come on board. For me, I've got one objective, and that's to take my opponent out by any means possible.
You're a boxing fan. What do you think of this undercard, seeing the likes of Joe Noine and Liam Wilson in action?
Yeah. Me and Wade fought before, so they're going to have a tough fight against Emili. And I'm a big fan of Wilson. You know, he's a stable, no limit partner with me, and he's got plenty of skills. And I'm telling you, I guarantee you, this boy's going to be a world champion in the making.
What about the main event, Tim? How do things end between yourself and Stevie Spark on Wednesday night?
Look, it's good to have dreams. Again, it's good to have belief. It's good to have vision. But once we get in the ring, all of that disappears. And you get into my territory, and you get into my zone, and you get into my cage. And there's only one thing that happens, is that the hope, the soul, and everything gets taken away. And I'm in control. And this is my home. And when he steps in the ring, it only ends with one thing.
Thank you very much, Tim Tszyu. We dubbed him the Soul Taker last time around here in Newcastle. He's aiming to do exactly that again. And thank you again to Stevie Spark for stepping in at late notice. Now we're going to get these two main event fighters to face off, just here and here. Of course, we'll be back at this venue. We'll be back at this venue tomorrow at midday rather, for the weigh-in. That's Tim Tszyu and Stevie Spark. They're your main event on Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.